Hello everyone, and welcome to this section on data cleaning and coding. The best way to get your head around data cleaning and coding is to have a go yourself, and this section largely consists of a data cleaning exercise. A set of instructions for the exercise and an example dataset can be found in the resources section. But before you start, I'll take you through some basic steps. So the first step in analysing your data is creating a dataset in Excel that includes all the variables that you measured. The variables should be in columns, and data for all of your participants for each variable should go along the rows. This dataset then needs a bit of polishing before you'll be able to analyse it, cleaning and coding, in other words. The first thing to do is to ensure you understand your data. Have you given the variables meaningful names? Do you know what types of variables you've collected? Secondly, you'll need to make sure all your variables are entered in a consistent format. So make sure that all your dates are entered in exactly the same way throughout your dataset, and that you've used consistent spellings. You'll also need to look through your data for errors or missing values. There are instructions on how to do this in the data cleaning exercise. However hard we try to collect complete data, we often have missing data. This can be for various reasons. So participants might exert their right not to answer a question. They may not know the answer, or they may miss out a question by mistake. But it's important to look for any patterns in missing data and what that might mean when you're interpreting the data. For example, people who choose not to answer a question about their sexual health may differ in meaningful ways from people who feel comfortable providing that information. This systematic difference would introduce bias into your results. Coding your data involves converting your raw data into categories or numerical values that Excel can understand. Coding should reflect the type of variable that you're working with. For binary variables, it's usual to assign one category a 0 and the other a 1. For nominal variables, such as ethnicity, you can either use numbers, but remember that these are just category labels and they don't represent numerical values in your data. Or you can use words, but make sure that spelling and capitalization is consistent. Ordinal data, such as variables that were measured using Likert scales, should be given a numerical value. Typically, each response on a Likert scale would be coded from 1 to 5, 1 to 7, or 1 to 9, depending on the number of possible responses. Make sure that you reverse code any negatively worded items. For continuous data that can take any value in a given range, like body measurements, make sure you're using decimal points consistently. And for discrete variables, make sure that you're using whole numbers, so you wouldn't end up with 2.5 patients. In the resource section, you'll find a set of guidelines for data cleaning and coding, and a data cleaning exercise so that you can have a go at these things yourself. Thank you for listening.